And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back into the Dragon's Den. My name is Digital Dragon. I am a 3D printing variety streamer here on Twitch. Some of you that have been here before will realize that the background is a lot different. We are not at the house anymore. We are down at the new home of Digital Dragon 3D. That is right. For those of you new to the channel or who haven't been around for a little bit, I took that next leap, and it wasn't just, hey, let's try and find some shop space and move stuff out of the house to a larger facility. We're doing a full-blown store now. So we're gonna have a retail store. We're gonna be selling FlashForge printers, both the 85M Pro and the 85X. We're gonna have the spare parts for those printer brands, or those printer models. We're gonna be selling printers of like Voron and other types of printers that I've built over the years, as well as down the road, we're gonna start getting more and more parts in to support the building community, the modding community, whether that's Fadis hot ends, which I'm still waiting on that order to come in. I'm hoping it'll be here in the next week or so. To Big Tree Tech boards and items, as well as kits from like LDO. Hey, Wick Allen, how's it going? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. This is a new location for us. Hey, Thunder Keys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Icarus, how's it going? Sorry, trying to make sure I can read the screen. I'm doing this on my laptop right now. Looking forward to the soft opening. Me too, my friend, me too. I was so looking forward to it happening right at the new year, and we're gonna be delayed just maybe about another week. The audio's low. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can't get the mic a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm still trying to work some things out here as far as everything with this base setup, which is just my laptop and a camera. Right now we're using a laptop camera, but I do have one of my OBS bought Tiny 2 cameras here that we're using for the bench side and a little bit wider angle view here. But yeah, we're starting to get moved in. Hey, Pete, how's it going? It's a little still echoey in here because there's not a lot in here yet. In a minute, I will pan the camera around and show off the retail space. But we had a hiccup. I had ordered what I thought was all vintage brown furniture, or shelves, console tables, stuff like that we can do product displays on. And I apparently, in flipping back and forth and looking at different models, yeah, half of the order came as the industrial brown, which almost looks gray. It's like a whitewashed brown. So that didn't go well. I've got new stuff on order. It looks like it's gonna come in by Friday, so we'll see. If that comes in, we won't have all the furniture in, but we'll have enough that we'll start getting product out on shelves and starting to get the store set up, and we'll do soft opening. So right now, let me throw this in here. I should have had this set up. So right now, I just pinned a message. The website is up on the pinned messages at the top of chat. And if you go out to said website, you can now actually take a look at the shop. Let me jump over. Of course, the browser window is not set up right. Sorry, the look on my face is I do not know what it just came up with as far as the drop-down list here. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. So, here is the website. The top image of the website is a picture of downtown Sanford, which is where I'm located at. We do have links out into the shop that shows off the printers and products that we're going to be selling. From a filament perspective, we do sell bamboo and epax filaments. I am going to be posting little news articles and blog updates out here on the site. As we continue to go forward, I will most likely be doing another one really, really soon. And I will say be on the lookout, because when I post about the soft opening dates, as well as the grand opening dates, need to get you a hookup with Ambrosia for East Coast Supply. You know what, Thunder Keys? I could probably reach out to Daniel and make that happen. I mean, East Coast Supplier, you still have my good friends up at KB3D. I just don't know how much they stock and what colors. I have not been out there recently because I've been really, really, really busy here at the store. But the site is up there. If you're in the local area, you can go ahead and place an order, and there will be an option to come in and pick it up at the store. The address is on the website, and that address is 152 North Steel Street in Sanford, North Carolina. So if you're in the local area, or if you are within a decent drive, please feel free to come down and visit. Like I said, probably in 2 weeks we will do the soft opening, just because I'm waiting for some more furniture to come in. I keep saying furniture, but you know, furniture-like items, so that we can actually get some stock out here on the sales floor. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on. Hey, Liz, how's it going? Yes, I have missed you guys as well. Not only have I not been streaming, but I have been missing everybody else's streams, and it's killing me. I keep seeing the posts of, oh, so-and-so's working on a Delta Flyer, so-and-so's working on this. Daniel at Neokoi Prints doing stuff on his box turtle builds and the Micron build, and I'm just like, oh, you guys are killing me. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here doing things like we're painting walls and working to get fixtures in and electrical, because we've been doing a lot of the grunt work, which we're used to doing from being in the military. So me and Evil Diesel have been pulling all of the cable and getting all the cable runs set up, and all of the like outlets and stuff like that sitting there, so that all the electrician has to do when they come in the evenings, because we're the side project, friends and family discount side project. So that when they come in, they just have to start, you know, doing the actual install at the wall and at the panel. So 4 hours, 17 minutes according to Google. That's not too far, Thunder Keys. We'll definitely see you here with the grand opening at least. Well, thank you, Icarus. I appreciate that. Yeah, so far it's been really good. Like I've had a couple of people come over and do some help with some painting and stuff. My son was here recently. He actually left today to go back, or my younger son left today to go back to Indiana. And he helped a lot with the painting, and then helped with the electrician. So when the electrician was here, he was the gopher for the electrician and stuff. So that really helped. Hey, RC Maniac, how's it going? He's opening up. Yes, I am opening up. Hi, my name is Digital Dragon, aka Luke, and I am a 3D printing addict. Oh, wait, wrong meeting. Sorry. But yes, it's been a lot of fun getting everything going. It's been a lot of work. There's a lot of Tylenol going on. Drinking lots of water and trying to stay hydrated. Lots of coffee, also to stay hydrated. That was the door down the hallway. Yeah. Wrong. I entered the wrong building. But yeah, we've got the checkout counter in, and my son helped me assemble that. We got that set up right over here off camera. I'll walk you guys around a little bit here. When I go to do that, I got to be careful of the setup, but I will reach over here and start moving the camera around. Let me see if I can move this around a little bit so I can still see you all as I flip the camera around. But let's start off right here. So we've got the front door. It's dark outside here in Sanford, but we'll have the front door. We've got our checkout counter right here. We do have a glass shelf section. We've got a mini PC set up here with our point of sale system set up. We've got some 3D printed stands here that we'll put some items on for, the checkout, what do we call that? Impulse buy stuff. This right here is one of the 2 benches that I have that will actually be over in the back here in a little bit. But you'll see there's a lot of open floor space right now because all the stuff that's in these boxes was supposed to be vertical shelves that's sitting in between all the windows over here on this wall. And yeah, those are the shelves that I grabbed the wrong color. It's supposed to be this color here, this vintage brown, and I got the industrial brown, which is almost like a whitewashed brown. So we're working with the company right now to see how to, work that out and whether or not we can return this, whether it makes economical sense to return it, because if it's defective, because these were bought off of Amazon, then Amazon will pick it up and eat the shipping. Because they're not defective, I was just an idiot. I have to pay to ship this back. And there's about 200 plus pounds of shelving there, which is not going to be cheap to ship by any means. You will see that we've got some printers moved over here from the house. I will walk over here and just kind of rip off what we've got. Let me take a quick look at chat. Yeah, hopefully the internet modem does not die. I so apologize about that. It was not the wireless or anything. It was the actual modem. The connection, the Ethernet, stopped talking. So the modem was up on the network. They could see the modem. It's just the modem wasn't talking at all. I am opening up in Sanford, North Carolina. So our website is pinned at the top of chat, and it's got our address in it. So yeah, so let me just kind of walk you around a bit. Pretty much everything from the these metal posts here, this way is the retail space. So we're going to have some of these console tables between the posts that kind of blocks off this area. And we'll have a maintenance bench and some other stuff over there. And then on this side, will be the retail space. And we'll have consoles that make islands in the middle. Between the windows, we're going to have vertical shells and consoles underneath the windows. But so far, we've got 3 of our Centauri carbons over here. We've got a FlashForge 85X, which once again is the brand that we're carrying to start with, is FlashForge. So I'll have the 85M Pro, and we will do an unboxing video because I need to put a display unit out. And the 85X, I just picked this up this morning. One of the folks that I know in the local area is pretty much a bamboo, like they've got 2 P1Ss, 2 X1Cs, an A1 and an A1 Mini. They bought one of these to try it out, and they also bought the Snapmaker U1 and decided to keep the Snapmaker and let me have this at a heck of a deal, like less than standard retail price, and they included a spare build plate and the enclosure kit. So what we'll do is we'll do a stream where we're adding the enclosure kit to this, because this is something else that we will have on hand and sell. We've got the Q2 over here. I stopped at the house and brought this down here today for a very specific reason, and that is some other stuff that showed up at the house was some Kexeld filament, and I'll bring us over and we'll talk about it. We also have Kyber Dragon, which is the LDO Motors 2.4 kit, and we've got the Rift down here on the end. Eventually, the Elegoo's and my X1 carbons are going to be on the back wall between the return vents over there where the 2 baskets are, waste bins. I'll have a set of 2 of the Craftsman racks back there, and that'll be my mini print farm area. And then this space back here in this area is where the rolling workbenches will sit, and this will be a maker space area where we'll have people, excuse me, you guys can't see me. Back in this area, we'll have space where people can come in and sit down at the bench and do things, get some help. We'll do classes, we'll do one-on-ones with people that are trying to learn 3D printing. Maybe they just got a 3D printer and they need to learn how to slice and things like that. So we'll get them set up there. Let me check in on the chat real fast. Saw someone printing with an 85X and it seemed good. Miss Dragon finally got her kitchen table back. Not yet, Chewy, not yet, but gotcha. Lots of space to build tool changers, yes. I've got to make a decision whether or not I'm going to bring the rat rig and the black box down here. Probably will, but they're not going to come down first. Let me check this out. How much streaming are you going to do once you open? My plan is to still stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Roughly the same time. We'll have to double check. And because I'm about to get my cord tangled up, I am going to turn you back around this way. And we'll show you the other part of the area. So here's the open area right back here where we're going to have the maker space. And once again, everything on this side of the steel post is going to be cordoned off. And this is going to be my maintenance bench. This is where we'll do repair work for anybody that brings printers in. Well, that and the standard bench that I have for streaming setup will be available as well. But I do plan on still streaming 2 days a week in the evenings and then Saturday mornings. Am I going to display printed stuff? Yes. The Power Claw, the Power Fist, the Doom Slayer Shield. I've got a couple of other things I'm looking at printing, some of the helmets. That's going to go high up on the walls. Also, this back wall here is going to get a big U.S. flag because we are, me and Evil Diesel are Air Force veterans, so we're going to have the Air Force flag and the U.S. flag back here on the back wall to reflect our veteran status. But we're going to have a bunch of stuff up higher up on the walls since we have some tall walls in here. But we'll have the maintenance area, and you'll see that we've got our speakers sitting over here. We have been listening to them and jamming out, and today we plugged the subwoofer in for the first time, and it works really, really well. You'll see Fay-Dragon sitting over there on the maintenance table. That's going to come over. We're going to start tearing that down here, possibly Thursday, if not Saturday on stream. We'll tear that down, and we're going to take all the panels off. We're not going to do anything with the Z-axes because we were cautioned against it. We'll have to take the gantry apart, take that out and rebuild it because we're going to make it the all-wheel drive. And then we'll rehang that with the tool changer shuttle, and then we'll start building things back up. We are also going to have to do some stuff under the deck panel. So remember, we were waiting until we got into the space and got the space to a decent enough space. Lots of space to build tool changers, yep. Because if you need to display stuff, Toymaker 3D has a sale going on until January 5th. I will take a look at that, RC Maniac. See, Toymaker 3D. Whoops. Saw someone printing with the 85X, yep. Thanks, Tenuous Rook, sorry about that. I'm still trying to get caught up on chat while chatting myself. Hey Kenneth, hope you're doing well. So yeah, you also see our 4 tool heads sitting over here at the end of that bench. And pretty much everything that I have down at the bottom side of this bench over here is stuff for the Fay-Dragon build. So we've got the printed parts for the clicky clack door that we'll have to use. I've got, you know, the spare parts for the Nighthawk stuff. We've got the Hexa 6-port that we'll have to use to break out for the tool heads. We got all the goodness, basically. The Leviathan expansion board that we're going to need to use. Like I said, we're going to be taking apart the electronics. We're going to switch over to the Leviathan and do a few other things for that build. And with that, I'm now going to bring you guys back over here a little bit front and center. And we'll just continue to chat here with me sitting down. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this new adventure. Mrs. Dragon has been pretty excited. She's been down here just about every day. Sometimes I'm the first one in, other times she is. And, you know, I'm still working the day job at my main company. And so, like, especially, I think our hours are going to be 9 to 7. So 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, which means my Tuesday and Thursday streams, instead of starting at 6:30, will probably start at 7 or just after, so we can close the doors, and I'll close and lock the door. And then Saturday mornings, I would stream until we open. The weekends, I haven't decided if I'm going to open at like noon on Saturday and Sunday, or possibly earlier on Saturday. It may be one of those things where we don't open till noon, but certain people that I know in the area that run print farms and other businesses like that could place orders and come pick it up, even when we're closed, so things like that. But yeah, it's been a great place. We've we've put a little bit more into it than I was hoping to have to do, but you know, it's one of those things. You've heard me say this on a couple of printers that we've worked on the stream, which is you got to make it safe, right? The floors look bad, and we should have painted before we did the floors. It would have made it easier. We could have just been sloppy with the paint and not worried about it. But when the contractor talked to us about the floors and they were like, we can start tomorrow, it was done. We'll see you in the morning, right? So that happened, and then that meant that we had to be a little more careful when we were painting. Such is life. All right, sounds good, RC. Take it easy. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that would be really cool, RC Maniac, as far as having a big project. I know me and Jedi Spidey, we had talked about, he is building a Master Chief, like 7-foot tall Master Chief. And I'm thinking that we need to come together and print the brute that goes with it. And so we'll, is it the brute or? Whichever one, from Galactic Armory. So we may do one of those. I will tell you that the Optimus P1 is printing decently. A couple of the gang over at Ecovate 3D have been tinkering with it, partly because they're afraid now that I've opened up my own store and I've thrown so much money at it that they're afraid I may take it away. I don't want to move it. It's really, really heavy. Yeah, it's available. So if we need to do some big prints, we can do some big prints. Let's see, what else we got? You're super happy you found it. Oh yeah, definitely, Chewy. Got to get your emergency supplies early Saturday morning. Yeah, definitely. And that's what I'm saying is, you know, my hours may be, you know, 10 to 7, 9 to 7, whatever. But if I've got somebody that needs something early, because I'm going to also be doing prints for local businesses. So if they, you know, have to pick something up early in the morning, we'll get it ready and they'll be able to pick it up early in the morning. That's no big deal. Hey, 3D Medic Vince, how's it going? The Elite, there you go. Thank you, Tenuous Rook. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, Icarus. So the Imperial Saint on Instagram, her name's Doris. She has built a life-size Sister of Battle, a life-size Ultramarine Space Marine, and a life-size Horus. The waist of Horus is over 8 feet. So she cannot put it together completely inside her house. And I want to say that she said it took something, I would misquote her, but if you go out and look at Imperial Saint on Instagram and check out some of her her reels and stuff, she does talk about how much time and how much filament she has spent printing those, and it's crazy. It is crazy. But how's it going, 3D Medic Vince? Welcome in. Hey, K2, how's it going, Kevin? Long time no see. A motion sensing 10-line grunt would be cute as hell, or cute as all. Probably, yeah. Every office location I've ever rented always asked/demanded 3 to 4 month free rent to allow me time and money to make locations suitable for my business. So here's the thing. I asked for 2 months and 10 grand to do electrical. They countered with 3 months. So I got 3 months of free rent, and that basically I paid deposit in December, and January, February, March is free rent so that we can start getting sales going and everything. And yeah, I will say the friends and family discount for the electrical and doing some of the grunt work of pulling cable and stuff has helped. Folks, give me 1 second, please. Sorry about that. Like I said, my younger son was driving home to Indiana, and that was him calling to let us know he's just about to the house. And give me 1 second. Apparently, somebody inadvertently shut off the power strip over here. I just got a warning that my laptop is about to stop. So yeah, we got a few months of rent abatement that will help us get things up and running and going. And you know, we're looking forward to getting this adventure going. We've already had one sale. Jedi Spidey has come in and ordered a bunch of filament online and came by and picked it up. And yeah, that was pretty awesome. And I'm looking to see quite a few more familiar faces from the local area come in and check us out, especially as we go into soft opening in January, and we're going to grand open in February. Right now, we haven't locked down the date, but if my calendar will pop up, probably Saturday the 7th of February. My birthday's the 10th, so we wanted to do it around my birthday. So most likely we're going to be looking around the 7th of February for doing the actual grand opening for the store. So that'll be pretty cool. And hey Liz, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and yeah, he's going, my son was going back to Indiana, and he said he's hit rain, freezing rain and snow, especially going through the Virginia mountains, heading back up from North Carolina. This is like talking to a brick wall. Yes, Liz, yes. So what I started to talk to you guys about was I brought the Keytech down here because we're printing some filament by Kexeld. I talked to these folks while I was out at FormNext. I did order this online and get it in, but this is their K9 PCFR. So this is polycarbonate flame retardant. So what we're going to do is we're going to be setting up some. Sorry, I gotta pull this back out a little bit. There we go. So you can see more of that pretty brick wall. So we've got cameras, and I do not want to install them per se in the walls because a lot of the walls around here are brick and cinder block. As you can see, brick behind me, cinder block on the front, and that side is actually paneling like literally construction adhesive to the brick wall. Wasn't us, that was them, but that's how it is. So what we're doing is I designed a plate. So we've got some cameras here that we're going to be using. These are Reolink off of Amazon. And we grabbed these because they are power over Ethernet cameras. So we're going to be running Ethernet cables, which we can do up in the drop ceiling, no problem. However, this camera is a little heavy, and mounting them into the drop ceiling would be difficult. So what we did is I catted up this plate. We're going to have one plate underneath and one plate on top of, basically we're going to sandwich the big plates here to the drop ceiling. And this gives us a larger surface area to do the sandwich to. And because this mount here is metal, if we didn't have this plate, this would just, as you tighten it up, this would just get smushed into the drop ceiling panels. So I designed this, and we're printing it in flame retardant filament for, well, you know, code, safety, that type of stuff. So you have audio, but not really video. Ooh, I did see some drop frames just hit. Are we still good? Do you guys see me? You switch from Chrome to Firefox and it's better. Make sure to use a corner of the tile. Yeah, we're not going to like do it right in the middle of the tile or anything like that. It's going to be in the corner of a tile, and we went with a larger surface mount plate so that when we did the squish, we didn't damage the tile, and we got more of the tile to support it and distributed the weight a little bit more. Yeah, I did notice that I dropped a few frames. So currently right now I'm streaming from my laptop, and I am streaming over the Wi-Fi, which is not the best. I should be streaming on a direct connect, but right now I have one direct connection, and it's actually tied into the system that's monitoring the camera that I have pointed at the front door. So over the next few days, Evil Diesel's bringing in some network equipment that he has from a previous life, and we're going to set up all the cameras. We're going to set up some additional hardline drops, one of which will be to this general area for the streaming setup, because I will eventually be bringing my big PC out, my dual monitor cart, so I'll have the same setup that I had at the house. It's going to come over here, and I'm going to have that streaming setup directly here. And don't worry, Liz, I will put something on the brick wall behind me, so it's not just a brick wall. But yeah, we're gearing up. We are doing some things. A lot of stuff still left to do, but a lot of stuff that can be done during the soft opening, right? So we need to get the basic fixture set up so we can get product out on the shelves. We've got 51 cases of filament from EPACs. So that's primarily PLA, some PETG, some basic TPU colors, and some ASA colors that they had. A lot of filament from bamboo. And I reached out to some local folks that I know use the bamboo to say, okay, what is it you want? And placed a big order with them, with bamboo. Eventually I will have bamboo printers here as well. How about a 55-inch TV that displays a brick wall with faint neon edges? oh, there's something interesting, tenuous. I was thinking more about, some uh, potentially some hue forges, some uh, light up stuff, um, like the old logo and stuff that we had in the old shop or the old studio. We'll bring back here and get it hanging on the wall. I like the brick. Like, I was very, very adamant that there will not be any paint intentionally put on the brick. Like, there are a couple of places where they got it as they were painting the trim, but yeah, I'm in the office, which is right over this way. I have an office space, and within the office, we have a vault. And I do mean an actual, like, safe vault. So pretty thick, like 6-inch thick door. This has never been a bank or a jewelry store to our knowledge. It was a printing place. I don't know if they ever printed any money or anything like that, but it was because of the area and stuff and the different papers that they use, because this is a 1948 building. The printing business has been in here for like 80 plus years. It's a pretty big printing company in this area, and they just moved to a larger facility. But apparently, like, the papers and the stock, you had to keep very temperature controlled. And so hence where the vault was, so they could keep the humidity control and stuff like that for the paper stock. But yeah, it provides a perfect place for all the back stock. So printers will be back there. All the filament that's not on the shelves will be back there. Some specialty parts will have display units, and then the rest will be in the back, that type of thing. But yeah. Yes, it had a dehumidifier. It actually had a fumigator capability as well. And the only thing I can think of is, paper is a wood product, and they may had to have fumigated for any potential bugs or anything to keep them out of there. Don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But yeah. So the other thing that you all may have noticed, and this was another printer that was over at Ecovate 3D. Oh, you're going to follow me. Well, in that case, if you're going to follow me, then I'll just walk over here. Is this printer right here. So this is a Raise 3D Pro 2 Plus. So this is not the current gen. The current gen is the Raise 3D Pro 3, I believe. And you have the standard size and then the Plus. The Plus isn't any bigger in X or Y, it's bigger in Z. And I think this is like 3 something by 3 something by 6 something. We'll look up the specs on this. And the reason this came in is they were having issues. They couldn't get either one of the tool heads to extrude. And now they were trying to get it to work, and they are having issues, I believe, with one or both not heating up anymore. So this is going to be one of those fix or repair projects where I'll have to take it apart. We'll take apart the tool head, we'll work on it, we'll get it working again, and this one's going to stay here. Unless they ask for it back, this one was intending to, it comes here and it stays here. So we will be doing some work on the Raise 3D. It's not going to be a, hey, let's mod the heck out of it. It's going to be, let's bring it to stock. It gives us a bigger build volume from a vertical standpoint so that we can try and build some things there that we couldn't on any other printers. And we have the Rift that gives us a longer print size, remember, because the Rift is 300 by 600 by 2 something-ish. So yeah. So this is the OBS bot or OBS bot Tiny 2 camera is what I'm using. And it does, it tracks, you can zoom, and it's hand gestures, which is crazy because as you can see, I like to talk with my hands and it'll pick up on my hand gestures. But you can get it to zoom in, you can get it to zoom back out, you can get it to track you, you can give it a command and basically it'll stay where it's at. And then you're not paying attention and you do something, talking with your hands, and then all of a sudden it's tracking you again or doing other things. So it's fun. And then the microphone that I'm using, this is the Comica Boom XD. I think it was, Scott. What's his channel? Liz, if you're still out there, help me out. Scott's channel. Scott, he does a lot of stuff with Fabrico and Polymaker. He brings their booths and stuff to the shows here in the US. Edge of 3D, there we go. Thank you, Kevin and Liz. Scott with Edge of 3D recommended these, and so I picked them up as really good options. They worked great. They had a lav mic that can plug in. So for a while I had this plugged in and just clipped to my belt and was running the lav mic rather than having this sitting here. I think just overuse of winding up the lav mic, I've killed the wire in one of them. And AKA grumpy sometimes, AKA always grumpy. Yes, I haven't seen him really smile and carefree. So yeah, unless you, there you go. Yeah, that might make him not grumpy, is go shooting with him. But yeah, he recommended this back in the day, and so I grabbed it, and it's been a great combination. Now, when I started to try and use with my older MacBook, which was Intel based, I could plug it in the same way and it worked fine. But with the new MacBook, this does not have a mic input. It's a headphone output jack. The only thing I found that really works with it as an input has been like plugging in a set of wired, like Skull Candy headphones where the mic is in line. That's the only type that's ever worked. My head amames with the boom mic, the mic doesn't work. So this, I've actually got a USB-C adapter. So it's plugged into USB-C, so my audio routes that way and it works fine. Where on my PC, I'm using one where it plugs into the headphone mic jack on the PC. So just a different adapter. But yeah, I just knew I hadn't been around. Hey, Projects in Dad's Garage, how's it going, Alex? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling well. I saw that you were streaming earlier. I apologize. I was going to try and jump on some streams today because I was basically sitting around today waiting for a couple of Amazon deliveries and the electrician to come in to finish a couple of things. And the electrician had to call off because their day job was running late. So he's going to come over tomorrow, which is fine. I've got some stuff to do around here tomorrow, and I'm going to run another line. So I've got an outlet that comes down over here, or a line that comes down, and it feeds a 2-gang outlet right under the front window, and then another run that goes into the office that feeds a 4-gang box. And that right now we were talking about running, potentially running a new line, but if we run a new line, it would be 14 2-gauge, which means it's only good to 15 amps, and we currently have 20 amp outlets in it. So I'm going to have them just, even if I have to go get some new wire, we're going to wire it up for 20 amp. But you might eventually look at streaming, so watch out. Hey, there you go. Everybody should stream. Everybody. So here's the thing. I started streaming because I was watching people stream and I was building stuff while watching people stream. And everybody's like, just stream. You should just stream. Just do it once or twice. You know, you'll know real fast if you don't like it. Don't go out and get a bunch of stuff. Just grab, you know, some basics, right? Right now, I'm going on the Tiny 2 camera. Whoops. But when I started out and in a pinch, I keep these for mobile use or taking to shows. I started out with Logitech 920s. I've got a couple of 920s and some 922s, but this was the cameras that I was using. And at the setup back at the house, I had two Tiny 2s. One was at the front, right above my monitor. That's my front main view. This would be the bench side that would sit off to the side and is focused on the bench stuff. And I have a 922 that's on an arm that comes up and it's just shooting down as an overhead camera. But grow into that. Get a standard basic camera, even if it's your phone. Just put your phone up there and use that. And, you know, get a good mic. That's the biggest thing. Get a mic. It doesn't have to be a lav mic. I think Pez Liz uses a desktop or an arm-mounted mic, shotgun style mic, and that's it. And you know, maybe your first couple of streams is doing just this right here. You don't have to be doing anything. Just talk and engage, right? And then go from there. But yeah, the new Walmart ONN 4K cameras are great for 35 bucks. Boom, there you go. And AirPods. A lot of people use either earbuds to be able to get the audio feedback while using a mic. So, you know, the last thing you want to do is have speakers sitting right in front of you. And you have like a stream alert pop in and you have your mic right here and you get the feedback and it squelches. So test your stuff out, do a small stream, invite like 5 people to a stream setup and just sit here and work all your audio out. And by all means, just put out there when you do your first couple of streams is, your title is validating stream setup, right? And there's the Tiny 2, right? So we do this, we come in, we do this, we go out. I think this will, like straight hand will cause it to supposedly stop tracking you. I think. Nope. I did it 2 times, so it's back to tracking me. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is, if you have some earbuds, I would suggest the AirPods because they have good light, you know, a battery life, though I've never used them. I've had multiple different earbud types that I've used, and the batteries are crud. Exactly, Liz. Shorter streams and getting, you know, hour-long streams, right? You don't need to go like me. I've been known to sit here and do like 3-hour streams at night. And then Saturday I've been known to do, I don't know, I've done 13+ hour streams on a Saturday. And I know that because I did a 13-hour stream not too long ago on a Saturday building a Core 1 front to back kit because Mukesh needed one to test with when he came out here because he hadn't gotten his yet. So, and Mikesh may be coming out, and when he comes back out to North Carolina, I believe he will be here doing some prototyping out of here with me and Noah over here at my shop, because I've got some dedicated space in the back that he can work out of. So yeah, but to get affiliate, the sweet spot is shorter streams and just trying to get people engaged, right? Because you're looking for you're looking for a certain ratio, and yeah, that'll help. I got affiliate, and okay, now you're monetized. Hey, great. I will tell you, I am never doing this to, streaming is not going to be an income source for me, right? It does get something, but it is, what will we call it? Beer money, right? It's not a job replacement for me. This is something I do because I enjoy it and I love it, and you'll see some more educational streams hopefully in the near future. We may have some streams that either me or Evil Diesel do, and we just record them and we release them on YouTube. Yeah, long streams can be painful. That 13-hour stream was rough. And by the end of it, I was like, okay, we're done. It's built. I cleaned up the tabletop, and I went home, caught some sleep, came back the next morning, and actually got there right after Beverly and Noah came in, and they were like, what are you doing back here? And I was like, I left a mess. I can't leave a mess in your shop. So I policed up all of my boxes and the garbage and stuff. And I, what did we do? We went through the belt tightening procedure. I started to print, made sure the first layer went down, and we chatted for a little bit, and I was like, all right, peace out, I'm gone, I need some sleep. And they were like, you're not gonna stay here and watch this? I was like, well, one, you guys are gonna open up soon, so you all can be watching it as it prints, and then two, it's a Prusa, it's gonna print. You know, if the first layer went down on a brand new Prusa build, it's gonna print. It's not gonna have an issue, right? And I printed, the first print on the Core 1 was the engine, the rocket engine, which is a pretty tall print. And yeah. So if you need help and someone to verify setups or help with OBS, let you know. Yep, there you go, Icarus. It may fund your addiction. I will actually say it will feed your addiction. It won't fund it. Yeah, 2 to 3, when you're first starting off, just like 1 hour streams just to get out there and you get comfortable. Then start getting into 2 and 3. So affiliate, you have to be doing it for at least 30 days, right? So start off with some 1 hour streams more frequently, like not once a week, but like twice a week. Pick 2 days and do a stream. Don't worry about stepping on other streams, because if you're trying to go around all these streamers, you're never going to stream, right? Pick a platform, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, pick one or the other and get started on it, and just, you know, try and go. Mikesh, you haven't heard that name forever. He is doing well. Did he ever get back to you, and did you ever get your automated up and running? If not, then we need to chat and I can get you up and running. I've now got all the software and stuff to get things done. Oh yeah, Pezla's and Zombie will help you guys get started. Pezla's more than Zombie. And that's not a dig on Zombie, it's just I know he's a little bit more time constrained because he's got a full daytime job, the little ones and stuff. Liz, she's just here to hound all of us and keep us all motivated. Yeah, nobody can hold everyone's hand. Exactly. The biggest thing is there, start streaming. People will give you feedback, right? And two type of things. One, trolls will troll, and I've gotten some trolls. Don't worry about it. You know, sometimes you need to feed the trolls, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you can just ignore them and go along your way. Keeping up with chat, I think I do well with. And that's the other thing. I have this is the most, I will say, I'm timely interacting with chat, right? Normally I'm doing a build and I start getting into the build and chat's over in chat land doing chat stuff because I'm like face down trying not to cross wire something, and chat's good. They let me do that, and then I come back and I have to scroll around or be like, hey, give me a synopsis. Automatically keeps my door open. That's about all. Your time is money too. That is true, Liz. That is true. Yes. I apologize for that. Yes. You definitely got a lot of irons in the fire and a lot of deals going on there too. My apologies. Now where's a bag I can stab? Kidding. You do your thing. We can revisit that when you are all set up there and can breathe. Okay. Motivation is good. That's something well, and that's the thing too, Icarus, is I got started because people were saying, hey, just do it, right? And I sat on some streams where I had 2 people in it. I sat on streams where I didn't have anybody on it for the first half hour. But you know what? People are going to revisit those streams occasionally as well. Like Liz, I don't think publishes her streams a lot of the time. Some of the times because she's got music going on in the background. Other times it's not, because if you're playing music, like if I started running my playlist over here, or if I'm sitting here like, hey, we're going to stream and I'm going to build furniture and I just have the music going, but I'm streaming still, that can get you DCMA strikes. So be careful about things like that. Hey, Optimus P1 stream, how's it going? It's Waters. Well, okay, Waters, how's it going? Like, did you guys set up a full-time stream on the Optimus P1? Or is that your plan? And thank you for the Prime sub, Projects in Dad's Garage. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Spreading that Amazon money around. Exactly. You got to. Set one up and you were harassing Clover with it. Gotcha. Gotcha. So Waters, aka Noah, is over at Ecovate 3D, and that's where the Optimus P1 lives. And I saw a camera there. I think they were going to try and at least stream internally so they could keep an eye on the printer and some overnight stuff when they. I mean, it's a 600 by 600 by 1111 build volume. You can print big things, and they printed a big vase that's like, what, 3.5 feet tall? Like it was full, I think full kilo. And vase mode, we have it set for 0.6 layer height and 1 millimeter layer width. So full nozzle width, 0.6 layer height. And that sucker, it's an LGX Pro pushing into a tube, and it can chew through a spool in the blink of an eye. So, yeah. We kind of did a little loop-de-loo earlier on the stream, so I will make this available as a VOD so you guys can watch this a little bit later. But we do have a few things going, and speaking of a few things going, let me remotely check out something real fast. Okay. So water, since you're here, you need a one-piece dragster printed in 64D TPU. Oofda. So I picked up some filament. I picked this up off of Amazon. But I do want to talk to these folks. I mean, I did talk to them. They have my card, and I'm going to reach out to them about possibly stocking some of their stuff. So these folks have several filaments. Like they have a whole line of filaments to be able to do like prosthetics, splints, stuff like that for animals, for humans, the whole 9 yards, as well as a bunch of other stuff. This is really good filament. Right now, this is the K9 PCFR. If my stop focusing on me and just focus, there we go. So the K9 PCFR. So this is the black. I'm currently printing in the white, but this is flame retardant or flame resistant polycarbonate. So I currently have this going. I stopped by the house. This just arrived today. So I ran over to the house and grabbed some, and uh-oh, what was that? I missed that. Getting ready to build a proper extruder. Nice. Are you going to put that on yours? Ah, we started a level 1 hype train. There we go. We're 16% into a level 1 hype train. Yeah, where was I at? Okay. You're getting ready to build a proper extruder. Waters, were you going to put that on one of your printers, or did you want to put that on one of mine? Just ping me and let me know one way or the other. Hey, Mr. Wizix, how's it going? But the reason we picked up the Kexeld, and like I said, this came in today. I've got one spool of black, one spool of white. And I went home when I realized it was there after getting the 85X from Selma, North Carolina. It was about an hour drive out there, hour drive back. I swung by the house, picked up this, and picked up a couple of more printers to include the Keytech Q2 Plus, because that has a chamber heater in it and can do 300 C on the nozzle. So we're printing out the flame retardant polycarbonate, and once again, the reason being is store cameras, right? These are fairly heavy. These are indoor-outdoor cameras, so they are metal-bodied and the mount's metal. So we're going to hang these through the drop ceiling, so we're not going to do it in the middle of the panel. We'll be in the corners. And I catted up this piece here that's got the same mounting pattern for the holes. So what we're going to do is a white one on the inside, a black one on the top of the panel, and we'll screw in the mount through both of these and the drywall so that the weight is distributed over a larger area. And because we're going to be going into the drop ceiling, we wanted the flame retardant just to try and be better with code compliance. So I saw that and I was like, boom, done. So we're using polycarbonate, so we shouldn't have an issue with heat in the summers and the drop ceiling or anything like that. Hey, Free Heathen, how's it going? Mr. Wizix just subscribed for 23 months in a row. Hey, thank you, Mr. Wizix. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You were going to put it on a filament sample machine, but it's not that much harder to build multiple if you were interested. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that because I know you got the parts for the proper extruder. We talked about it at Form Next. How's it going, Free Heathen? So I think enough people are here, and I think the camera's going to follow me. So shall we get up and walk around a little bit? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Let me slide this around so I will be able to see chat a little bit as I get up and walk around. The camera should follow me. Yep, there we go. So this bench will not live here full time. It's just living here right now. This is going to be one of two benches that will be in the back area of the shop that I'll show you in a second. We've got our checkout counter here that will have a glass display front and a few other display type pieces that we'll be able to set up for impulse buys. We do have a point of sale PC here that's dedicated for the point of sale stuff and everything. So we'll be able to do that. Right this direction, we'll see if the camera will pick up. I do have one-way glass, and this door right here leads into the office. This is where I'll have to work out of most of the day while I'm doing the day job and monitoring the store, help out Mrs. Dragon and Evil Diesel, who will be hanging out here on the daily. Let's see. Whoops, give me a second. Check chat real fast. Hey. Bearing and some belt. I think I've got that covered. I just need to, love the beard? Yeah. Yeah, it's the grizzly beard. Of course, front door. Currently, our banner is our sign for the store right now, while I get some made by a local printer, 2D printer, sign printer and stuff. This type of shelf right here, these console tables, is what we're going to be using within the main area here. So we'll have a couple of rows of them set up here, spaced out, so a couple of them that would be set up. And then these boxes that are over here were shelves that I ordered that were supposed to be the same color, this vintage brown. And apparently I'm an idiot when I was ordering, because I was flipping back and forth between stuff so much, that I got the industrial brown, which is more like a whitewashed brown. Looks more gray to me. So we'll have a couple of these islands set up with printed display stuff, and the camera stopped following me. Hey camera, follow me. Okay, maybe it's saying I'm too far around for it to follow me, so we'll give you some more movement, maybe. Will you follow me now? There we go. Basically what we're going to be doing is where these posts are, we're going to also get some items, some consoles right here to break this area up. Everything on this side of the columns will be the streaming setup and the maintenance area. Everything on, on this side of the column is like retail space. We'll have our printer lineup down through here. These are the same Craftsman shelves that I use at the house that I'm using here. We've got a couple of the printers that I built, so we'll have some Vorons, and we'll have the Mercury Rising or Magenta Rising, and a few other printers down here on display. And then we'll get into our 85M, the 85X. If we get bamboos in, they'll go out here on display. All of my Centauri carbons, I'm going to have a setup over here on this back wall. Are you tracking me? And yeah, so I'll have a setup back here with two of these shelves, and we'll have 6 Centauri carbons. So we'll have my 4 Centauri carbons, the 2 from Evil Diesel, and my 2 X1Cs over here on this back wall. And this is going to be the mini print farm. So this is where we're going to be printing stuff for B2B, not necessarily tchotchkes to have to sell. We'll print some of that, not a lot. We're going to be basically doing B2B stuff and things for Make Good and Enable Project. The rolling workbenches we'll have back in this area to be a setup for maker space, for classes. We can do one-on-one classes, talk to people about slicing, show them how to set up their new printers, stuff like that. And we will be doing classes here down the road. This setup right over here, if it will follow me, are you going to follow me? Will you follow me over here? Follow? No? Apparently I'm annoying it with how far I am making it move. Okay, come, follow. Okay, so over here we'll have our maintenance bench. This will be where we've got a set of tools. This currently has Dragon on it that will be working on the stream. But this will be our maintenance bench, dedicated tools, dedicated work area for customer printers. So we are a FlashForge reseller, which means we're going to carry the FlashForge 85M Pros, 85Xs, and maybe some other stuff. And that means we also have to do maintenance on them. So anybody that sells or that buys a printer from us has a 12-month warranty, and we do all the warranty work for them here. Same thing with Bamboo. We will be able to do Bamboo support as well once we start bringing the printers into the shop. And then we'll have the streaming setup over here. So I'm going to have to do the walk around again and see if she follows me all the way around. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of a big look at the retail space. I will tell you, let me get caught up here on chat. Villanux, hey, how's it going? Welcome on in, welcome on in. Hello, and Holy Hot Burger Helper, what am I looking at? So you're looking at my new store, okay? There is some shop space here that I will get into in a second, but this is Digital Dragon 3D's new storefront, brick and mortar. The website is pinned at the top of chat, and our address and phone number is there. This is a storefront in Sanford, North Carolina. We've got, depending on which you've looked at property-wise, it's either 3,100 or 3,500 square feet. Don't know how they're calculating it. So if it's tracking me, over here behind door number 1, which is the back right of the retail space, and it's going to be dark, and I don't know, did we turn the lights back on or not? No, lights are off. This is the original brick back wall of the structure. They did add a back area. So I've got a room off to the right that has been studded in and enclosed. That's where we're going to have the resin set up. Eel Diesel is going to bring some of his resin printers down and set up in here. Don't worry, we've got the air filtration taken care of. And then the space goes back and opens up, and we're going to drop some dedicated circuits back there, and we're going to bring the desktop mills in here. So we're going to have our X-Tools D1 laser. We'll have the 2 desktop mills back here, the Milo Mini Mill and the Rat Rig Mill, and the resin stuff. Over here behind door number 2, and it's not going to track me. Great. So, whoops, sorry about that. Hello? No, moved you too far. Apparently we're not in tracking mode. Should be tracking now. Over behind this door, there is a hallway that goes behind here, and we've got a bathroom. And we've got another room over here that's called the boiler and supply room, because that's what's written on the door. But that's going to be another space that we can use for other stuff as well. So yeah, we've got plenty of space. And behind, if it'll continue to follow me, yeah, behind this brick wall here is the vault. So I do have an actual vault here. And it was great because it proves to be a great place to store all your backstock. So yeah. Let me catch up on chat here. Very proud of you, excited for you. Well, thank you, Free Heathen. I'm busting at the seams. I've wanted to open the store for a couple of weeks now, and you know, everything takes longer than you expect and longer than you want it to, right? They diamond ground the floors. They had to do it twice to get all of the glue so this used to have carpet in most of this area and tile up in front where the office space is. And you could tell because they left all of the glue behind when they painted the floor with acrylic paint. Hey, Big Jana, welcome on in. How's it going, my friend? How's it going? Doing it big as always. So we had to grind down to virgin concrete again. This used to be a printing store, and I do mean like big printing presses, because trust me, I found the divots and the 1/2-inch bolts from the equipment, right? So they did hilt the equipment directly into the concrete floor, and then they just cut the bolts off when they moved the equipment out and tried to grind them down underneath the concrete and then patch over them. Very poorly, by the way. So they diamond ground it down to base concrete and floated the first coat, or should have been the only coat of the epoxy flooring. And we had a lot of bubbles and we had a lot of voids from contamination. So they came in, patched things again, ground everything, or not ground it down to bare concrete, but sanded it down to flatten out the bubbles and floated a second coat, which meant another 24 hours of cure time. And then they were able to come in and do the polyurethane coat, which, oh my God, that stunk. That stuff was bad. Yeah. And then just trying to deal with the deliveries and get stuff in and everything. So yeah, it's been great. It's been busy. The electrical's taken a lot more time than I wanted to. And yes, I could have paid a company that could have come in 2-3 days and had everything done and rewired, and it would have cost me like 4 or 5 times as much. So I'm fine with it taking a little bit longer and doing the friends and family discount, putting a lot of sweat equity in myself. Once again, I'm not doing any panel work. I will not do any panel work. No, not me. When you see a fuse that's about the size of this coffee cup, I don't want to touch it. So, I've been playing Cable Monkey and climbing up and pulling new and fresh cable and getting everything prepped and ready, laying out all the outlets and stuff so that they can come in, and when the electrician is able to come in, he's just got work that he can just do of connecting things up, and so he can sign off on permits and everything. But yeah. Now you're seasick. Sorry about that. Thanks, Jano. Yeah, I'm real happy. We were supposed to paint the walls on a Tuesday. They were originally going to be cream de mint, which was a very light mint green. And on Tuesday, apparently we had many people who developed opinions, one of which is in the chat now. And we changed over and we went with this blue, and I'm trying to remember the color blue, but we got the blue. I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm fine with blue. My favorite color is blue. So boom, done, and we painted. But yeah, it's been just one of those things of, you know, I talked with Waters, and some of the electrical here, once again, we've got electrical from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and the 2000s in this building. And pretty much we've bypassed, cut out, and replaced everything from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and we're new wire, just about everywhere. Because we know where it's at. we know it's solid end to end. Because trust me, I've found stuff up in the drop ceiling where they came out of a junction box. They left the junction box open with the wire nutted connections, which should have been pushed back up in and the junction box capped off. And then as it goes across the top of the drop ceiling, there's at least 4 different wire connections. And I think it was like, well, we need that light over there. I don't have a contiguous piece of cable. Let's not go buy any new cable. And they just took all the cable scraps and wire nutted it together and had enough length, type of thing. And I was like, no. You guys have seen me wire printers, and you've also seen me go back to older printer builds and rewire them. That's what I'm doing, is I'm going back to older builds and rewiring here. If I can look at it and go, I don't think that's right, it's probably not right. But yeah, we're happy. I've got a bunch of replacement shelves that should be here by Friday. And I'm talking to the company, and I think we're just going to do like a partial refund so that we don't have to ship anything back. You know, I'll eat some of the cost, but I mean, it's going to cost me 70% of the value of the shelves to ship it back. Just doesn't make sense. You know, you have power when it takes 2 men to pull the breakers. Yeah, it doesn't take 2 men to pull this breaker, but when I say that, it's probably not the cup, it's probably more of this size, but there's 3 of them in the box, 1 for each phase. I don't want to play around with it. I don't want to grab it and play around with it. I'll let the electrician play the panel, and I don't want to be responsible for screwing something up in the panel. Hey, there's a link for the Fourth Wall shop with the new merch. We've got the zip-up hoodies by popular demand. So going out there, we've got the zip-up hoodies, we've got standard hoodies, we've got shirts, we've got coffee mugs, we've got some notebooks. You know, go grab some merch that supports the channel, it supports the store, and yeah, I would really appreciate it. If you can't make it out here for the grand opening, grab some merch, grab a coffee cup. We love our coffee around here. I will tell you that we do have a circuit in the box that is marked for Keurig. And I told him, I told the electrician, I don't care what you do, at the end of every day, the Keurig better be working. So if you gotta shut power off to do stuff in the box, make sure that the power is cut back on so we've got heat and the Keurig works. So I can deal without lights, but I gotta have the Keurig. Gotta have the coffee. Would have said mid-slate chair rail and a light robin egg top half with an orange mid-trim, but you're a madman. Yeah, we could have got some really cool designs, because these folks do like epoxy pours for full houses and stuff like that on, concrete epoxy pour for houses. And they do like the swirling 3 or 4 color swirl to make like the whole concrete floor look like it's marble or something. And I showed that to my wife and said, that would be cool. And she said, I will kill you in your sleep. And I was like, are you sure you'll let me go to sleep? She said, no. So it was one solid color and we weren't going to do fleck. They asked if we wanted it and I was like, no. Hey, Foxy Alley, how's it going? Long time no see. Long time no see. Negative 16C there. Oof. I don't have the C conversion, but we are at 30 degrees Fahrenheit in clear skies right here in Sanford, North Carolina. We literally had 70-degree Fahrenheit weather a couple of days ago. It was crazy. Christmas Day, it was 70 degrees. Hey, Tech Jeeper, how's it going? Thank you, my friend. Thank you, thank you. As I said now, if you're in the local area, you can shop and buy things online. There is an option to pick up and pay at the store, or you can pay online and pick up at the store if you're in the local area. If you need us to ship, reach out to me ahead of time because I'm still working to get FedEx and UPS linked in to my system. We're using Odoo. Everything's worked pretty well. Just UPS and FedEx are being cantankerous, and I don't think it's on the Odoo side. I think it's the UPS. Actually, let me think about it. UPS is doing weird stuff when I'm trying to link the account in with Odoo, and FedEx is set up, but before I can actually ship, I've got to print out a couple of labels and either scan them in or send them to the FedEx team to look at to make sure that the labels print right with the software before they will clear me hot to actually do the integration. So I'm set up on a test link with them, and I've got the API codes to be able to do the live stuff, but I can't go live until they verified my labels and flipped a bit on the back side of my account. So money was no issue. I would have done a massive dragon pattern on the floor. Well, so Evil Diesel has done a massive dragon head, and by massive, I think it's 4 foot from chin to horns. And that is going to go up on the walls behind us. We're going to have I did a brute, Galactic Armory has a brute Xbox controller holder where he's just kind of sitting here in a menacing look with his hands like this so the controller sits on it. I've got that printed, and one of the guys from the local game store, which used to be literally directly across the street, and they moved into a larger space a block over or block down the street. He's painting it, and I'm going to get all his information and put it there as a local painter that they can reach out to if they are having miniatures done, because once again, Evil Diesel is going to be here with his resin printers, and he does a lot of resin prints for folks down at the game store. So we're going to be doing that thing where they're going to be sending people to us for custom one-off designs for their tabletop gaming stuff. And we'll be sending them right back down there to go get their paints or to recommend some people down there that do paints on commissions. So we're working that angle. Literally, well, down at the end of this chain of buildings is a printing store that does banners, and they're going to do the logo and the hours for the front door. So they do the vinyl stuff, they do banners, they do the floor size and desktop size, like pull up, like screen type setup, business cards, yard signs, that type of stuff. So they say that they get phone calls all the time for do you do 3D prints? Now they know somebody right down the street they can send them to, that type of stuff. So I'm trying to work the connections with the businesses. Like 4 doors down is a bar called Wild Dogs. So I'm going to take their logo and do some coaster prints, like some Keyforge coaster size prints, and take them over there and be like, hey, here's the types of things that we can do for you. Let us know if there's anything that you'd want to sit down and discuss. We can make you a good deal, because we're all small businesses here, help out small businesses type thing. So we're going to try and leverage some of that for some B2B printing in the local area. One of the, also talking about the game store, there is a lady, she's on TikTok, Fable Forge Co. And she does prints that she sells there at the game store directly. Dragons, dice towers, that type of stuff. And so she's one of the customers as well that I've already reached out to and said, hey, what colors do you need? I've got them here. You want them in refills? I've got them from Bamboo. I'm local, you're local, come grab them. I will, Thunder Keys, I will get into the Bamboo printers. The issue right now is cash flow, right? Everything I am doing here is bootstrapped. So everything that you see here, all of my current stock, which is the FlashForge printers, the Epax filament, the Bamboo filament, the Fadis parts when they come in and stuff, is out of my pocket, right? It's bootstrapped for me. So, yep, I will be doing the Bamboo printers. It's just one of those things that I need to make the upfront capital purchase worthwhile, right? The shipping is going to be included, so, or not included, but I have to pay for the shipping. So spreading the shipping cost out on two printers versus 10, that type of stuff. So, hey, Killer Prince, how's it going? Welcome in. You are seeing the brick wall behind me, and let me see if I can get OBS. No, I want you to come back in. There we go. OBS to, okay, apparently I'm out as far as it's going to go. So this is the brick wall behind me in the store. Over this direction, you'll see, is it going to track me now? Yep. We got the speakers that we put together. I've got the subwoofer on the ground over there, and it is all plugged in, and it does work. I'm just not playing music right now because I want to keep this as a VOD. But we are down at the store. This is where I'm going to be streaming going ahead in the future. At some point, I will bring my streaming setup from the house down here to the store. We're still in the throes of getting everything set up. We've got product in. We just, and by we I mean this guy, did not pay attention when he was ordering the shelves and stuff from Amazon, and apparently got half the order in the color I wanted and the other half in the other color that was available. So I now have more stuff on order that'll come in on Friday that we'll have to speed build and get set up and start getting product on the shelf. But this is where we're doing the next Rep Rap Festival. Sweet. Well, we're going to have a grand opening soon in February. It's going to be around the time of my birthday. So most likely it's going to be the weekend before. So it's going to be most likely Saturday, February 7th. Mrs. Dragon's going to kill me for putting a date out there right now because she's been working on trying to get an announcement ready. We are planning on soft opening. The website is live and active right now. It is pinned up in chat, so you can go out and see what we have and what we're going to be stocking. We don't have everything from FlashForge part-wise yet. We don't have the full Fadis lineup yet, but we have a lot of things from Fadis. I'm going to tell you that we got Fadis nozzles coming in for the 85M Pros and the 85X. So we will have Fadis conch nozzles for those. We will have the Fadis conch Plus nozzles that will work for the P1X1 series, the Jabberwocky, and other things that will use a bamboo style hot end, like, I don't know, a Baby Belt Pro. I think I bought the heaters and the thermistors for both the X1 and the P1s. I wanted to be as agnostic as possible, so I don't believe I did not get the full hot ends, meaning the immediate drop-in replacement with the fan and everything. I just got the hot ends. There we go. Stop with hand gestures. No, you're not going to pick that up and fine. Hands go on the table now. Yeah, all the dragon. So we'll have the hot ends, and then we'll have the heater thermistor sets for them. If you buy them all ready to go, they're just more expensive, and I want the ability for people to do things. Only if Whimsy is there, done. Done. Whimsy can get here. Mrs. Dragon will be here. We are going to do our best. Like I said, we are going to be supporting the Make Good setup. I can tell you that I am looking at some Make Good prints right now for adaptive devices. I know Evil Diesel is very interested in the E-Nable, as in enable, but E-Nable project where you can do prosthetic hands for people. And we've got at least one veteran here that we know that is having just got his leg prosthetic in, and we are looking at customizing it for him. So we're very interested in doing things like that for the locale. So we're located near Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is Fort Bragg, and Jedi Spidey. How's it going, Spidey? Thank you there for subscribing for 17 months. How's it going, my friend? Spidey knows he is welcome any point in time from now on. But soft opening, we're hoping for as soon as we get the shelves in, we're going to start building them and getting the product set up out here. And I'm sure we're going to be continuing to buy new shelves and adding more stuff out here, but we'll get the initial setup done. And I'm hoping within the next week to 2 weeks, we'll be doing the soft opening, soft launch. So you have a local group that make hands and arms for the kiddos. Yep. Yeah, springtime, make the trek on down. I will say, I'm not sure how this venture is going to impact our ability to make all the other Rep Rat festivals throughout the year, which will be hard because, as many of you know, My oldest son lives in Colorado Springs, so I get to go see some family, and my Mrs. Dragon's family's in Aurora, Colorado, which is in the Denver area. So Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival is near and dear to our hearts for that. My younger son lives in Napanee. He used to live in Goshen. He's now over in Napanee. So when we go to Murph, he always comes out and hangs out with us. And then we have family in the Baltimore area, so that was 3D Printopia. Now with Printopia moving up to Philly, we just have to figure it out, because if we're there, we're not here manning the store, which means we're going to shut the store down. So it may mean that we're attending some events, but we're not showing at events. We won't have a table at the event because we'll be flying in, flying out to limit the amount of time that we're away. So we'll have to figure some of that out. Yep. If anyone makes the trek to visit Dragon, let me know. I'd like to meet some of you for the first time. Exactly. If anybody's making the trek down here, let us know out on the Discord. You can bang Discord, and if you're not on the Discord, get on the Discord. We will be adding channels in the Discord specific for the store, and also letting people know, like, hey, we're coming down. If you're coming down, bring a maker chip with you, right? We will have a place where you can throw your, put your maker chip out on the display, and we want to see who all makes it down here to the store, and bring a chip, right? And you can add the maker chip to the wall. What's a maker chip? Kevin? You know what a maker chip is, Tech Jeeper. And Pez Liz with the hearts. Yes, got to do the heart. You have a coin. Coins work too, especially if they're like actual tender. It's almost maker chip, son. What's a fool? Look in the mirror. Damn. You got me there, Liz. You should create a store account on the MakerChip website and track your library virtually. That is very true. That is very true, Tech Jeeper. Very true. All the zingers, yeah. So, sorry about the cough. Like I said, the weather's been crazy up and down here, so I probably will get sick here if I'm not too careful. We have put in a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings. I've got bruises, I've got cuts. Apparently, yeah, death wheels. Do we know what we mean by death wheels? So death wheels are grinders, right? Angle grinders. Cheek pokers are putting the wire brush in an angle grinder or a drill because the little wires come off and embed, cheek pokers. So I was up cutting a conduit with the death wheel to get rid of old wiring because it went up into, so above the drop ceiling up here, we've got greenboard, which is the waterproof drywall that you would use in bathrooms and stuff like that. So that's covering the entire ceiling portion, and there's conduit that runs in there. So you've got a junction box and you've got a mystery at the back panel trying to figure out where the junction box is tied to. Like I said, we decided we're getting rid of the mystery and we're going to run new wire. We did it with metal clad, so it was all up to code. And so I had to cut a section out of conduit that went up into the green board, add a junction box, bring power in the junction box, do light switches. So once again, I was cutting the old stuff out, getting the junction box there, getting the wires run to the junction box so that he can come up and make all the final connections and blah, 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 blah. And so, death wheel still spinning. I went up to grab something and caught the edge of the death wheel and took a chunk out of the side of my finger. Because why not? That was fun. Oh, yay, it's December 30th and people are starting with fireworks. Awesome. So yeah, safety first, but we put some blood into the building. We put a lot of sweat in the building. There have been some tears, believe it or not. Yeah. So we've got it all. It's a proper digital dragon build at this point. Like I said, we've cried a little, we've sweated a little, we've bled a little. It's just like any of our other builds, right? So yeah, this is a proper build. And you can collect the store maker chip. That is correct. We're going to have to do a special maker chip for the store. Damn, I got to figure that out now. Hey, Kevin. I will have to reach out to you and pay you some money to give me a design. What came first, the maker or the chip? Yes. Blood sacrifice for good luck. That is true, Matt Owl. That is true. Tears of joy? Yes. And anxiety, but it's all good. One small chip for a maker, one giant leap into, I'll just tweak this real quick for 30 hours. Yes. Yes. Especially with that guy that was your first sale. Yeah, we had, it was funny because we figured out your sale, and then I completely broke Stripe, both for on website and local. And then we figured it out. It was one of those things where Udo said, you don't have to have two separate payment methods. You can set it up to do both. No. So we have one set specifically to use the Stripe, like cloud or whatever, to do the online payments. And then we got a separate payment method to be able to use the Stripe reader in the store. And yeah, so we got that figured out and it's all working. So I can take money now. You don't want the money, just a hug? I can do it, buddy. I can do it. You know that. Every time we see each other, I got to give you a big hug. Take your money. All right, Spidey. So once again, we do have an 85X here. I did not have to unbox one. Instead, I drove an hour and picked one up from somebody who had gotten one over at Ecovate. And they're pretty much all bamboo. And it's just different ecosystem, right? You're going from Bamboo Studio and the ability to work with all of the printers that they have, which would P1Ss, X1Cs, an A1, A1 Mini. And, they were trying to use the flash forward slicer, and it was just like too much. And so I made me a deal on it, and it has the enclosure and everything. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be, I went down, bought it from them. This is going to be my floor model. And we're going to do a stream where we actually put the enclosure on it. And I believe there's parts that I have to print for it. So I've got to do all that stuff. And we'll do a stream of putting the enclosure on an 85X. Okay, you're killing me. I'm going to maybe not out the whole way, but we'll zoom out a little bit and stop tracking. Just stop. Okay. So we're going to do one of those, and then we're going to do an unboxing where we unbox the 85M Pro, and we'll get that set up and working. Do a whole unboxing print, and that's going to be my floor model. So we'll do that, and then yeah, we'll have. So we've got those two. There may be some other stuff we need to do for the store, but we will then be working on our tool changer. So once again, I did bring down all of our tool heads for the tool changer. So we've got those set up. They're down here. I've got the printer down here. I've got all the other parts and stuff down here, sitting right here next to me on the other bench. So we will be trying to get a setup going so that we can bring the Fade Dragon over here and start tearing her apart. Once again, we've got to take all the panels off, take the tool head apart or tool head off, take the gantry down. We're going to rebuild the gantry using the LDO Motors all-wheel drive gantry for it and get that gantry hung. We will flip it over and double check. We may, no, I think it's got a, I believe that one has a Big Tree Tech octopus board in it. We'll double check. The plan was to put the Leviathan in it with the expansion board and run the Galileo 2 XLZs. We were cautioned against doing that on the tool changer. So we're going to put the Galileo Zs and another clicky-clack door on Kyber Dragon, which is over here at the shop now as well. So we'll be doing some swaps of some electronics and stuff. We're going to have to redo the electronics anyhow. This is, Fade Dragon was currently set up with a CAN bus tool head. We're going to be getting rid of the CAN bus. We're going to be going to the LDO USB Hexa 6-in-1 tool head board on the back. So we just got to do some electric work. So we'll work on the electronics. We'll work on swapping the gantry over and getting the tool changer up and running and going soon. So take your money and probably soon, hint, hint. Hey, just let me know, Jedi Spotty. We're pretty much down here 7 days a week. And like I said, we've got furniture that should be here. I say furniture, shelves that should be here on Friday. And we'll be putting those shelves together, which means this weekend we'll be setting up product, right? Getting all of our bamboo and Epax filaments out here. We would love to have some additional filament choices here. I got to be careful on, like I said, the number of deals I go into, just because I got to be able to move the product. Everybody has a minimum that they want you to move. So we gotta work our way through that. Yeah, but I do want to get bamboo printers in here. I know the bamboos will sell. I do want to get additional parts in here, not just Fadus. I want to try and get the Big Tree Tech boards in here. I want LDO kits in here. I want, I'd love to have micro Swiss and tube hot ends in here. I will talk to Audrina and Luke, and we'll probably start off looking at engaging interest in like tube or a tube compact group buy and do something like that to get tube interest going. I think there is interest here, especially after having the Optimus and the printers that I will have here that will have the tube compact. I think people will see it as a good idea. Looking for any exotic machines to lure in the customers. Well, I've got my Rift 600 here. I've got both my Voron 2.4s. I've got the Cheetah Tech Q2 here. I've got a Raise 3D Pro 2 Plus that's sitting over here that I need to work on to get going. and that will stay here. The Optimus P1, the plan right now is for that to stay at Ecovate 3D, and I'll be able to go over and run prints off on it occasionally. But what type of exotic machine are you talking about? I do have an FL Sun or a Full Sun that I got from MakerMind Nexus. That's at the house. That will probably come down here as well. And I will also have Magenta Rising I plan on bringing down here. I'm thinking about bringing the small ones. I'm debating whether I want to bring the black box down here. It's just more of, do I want to move it? The black box and the rat rig. I do have spot in the back. The 2 mills are coming down here. So the Milo mini mill, we need to come down and build the enclosure for it and get that mounted in the enclosure. We'll have the rat rig mill that comes down. I think they have an enclosure. I need to look at what it would cost to get that. And then Clover, I asked Clover, because he runs mills professionally, and so does Noah. But I asked Clover, I was like, if you're willing to come down and tram and get these machines dialed in, you can use them. So if I can get Clover come down here, he will tram and get those things singing, and he'll be able to come down and use them for their keyboard business and stuff. So yeah. Jedi Spider, you're asking if I will be at Ecovate on Thursday. The answer is yes. So Thursday, January 1st, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., if I remember the announcement right, Polymaker will be unveiling the new Panchroma line, or the new Panchroma colors, and a new, you've seen the game walls that they bring to the shows, something similar. But my understanding is you will be able to look at the print, and they'll have NFC tags on them, so you can place that like you would do the Polymaker scientist game. Instead of it being a game, you'll be able to take a sample print and a color that you've seen that you like, and it's got an NFC tag on it. You can set it down. It will tell you what the color is and where, at which shelf location it's at, so you'll be able to go and grab it off the shelf, right? So that's being unveiled over at Ecovate 3D. Polymaker, Joel has been here since Saturday or Sunday. They've been out here working on that. Say special hello to Joel's daughter, Ari. I sure will. Actually, I met the whole family the other day because I found out that they were in town and we had nothing else going on here. So me, my son, and my Miss Dragon cut out from the store here, and we drove down there and saw them. And then we were invited to community appreciation dinner that Ecovate was doing with a lot of the people that have helped the store get up at this new location over on Glenwood Avenue. And unfortunately, we were not able to go. So while my younger son was here, my older son that lives in Colorado had a issue and was taken to the hospital. And we were kind of going back and forth very tenuously as to whether or not I needed to jump on a plane and bug out. So good news is he came home from the hospital today. There's still some follow-up tests that need to be done. Right now we're hoping, fingers crossed, fingers, toes, everything crossed, that it was just a electrolyte imbalance because he was doing a normal Ingerman thing and, you know, working 3 jobs and just overdid it, right? Wasn't eating right and basically his body crashed. So yeah, his husband Justin was pretty freaked out, was calling us at like 11:30. We were getting updates all throughout the night, things like that. So it was pretty hit or miss, but he's doing well. And the younger one called me earlier during the stream. He made it back home safely to Indiana. So everybody is back home. And yeah, we're doing good. So I'm going to leave you guys here for 1 second and run over here and check something. I don't think the camera's going to follow me, but where are we at? Should be good. I'm hearing some some crackles going on. Pop that off. Okay. So definitely not the most beautiful first layer. Might be a little bit hot on the first layer. And there was some glue that I had on there from the last sets of prints. So the first layer here didn't go down very well. It finished nicely. It's going to be usable. This is Kexeld, and this is really like I'm building a profile from scratch and needing to dial it in and trying to dial in the temps and stuff. But this is fire retardant polycarbonate from Kexeld. That's KXeld. And yeah, so this is a flame retardant polycarbonate that we're going to be using to hang. We're going to have a white one on the outside, and I'll print all the ones that I need for this. And if I have plenty, then I'll do more of the white ones. If not, then I've got black here that I'll do for the one that's on the inside of the drop ceiling. And once again, we're going to mount our cameras basically with the camera going through a plate, the drop ceiling, and then another plate sandwiched together like that. And that will distribute the weight of the camera over a larger piece of the drop ceiling so we don't rip out the drop ceiling. Hey, Creatix Brit, how are you doing? Long time no see. Long time no see. I feel bad because not only have I not been streaming, but I have not been catching other people's streams. And, you know, it's just been a crazy adventure. For those of you that don't know, I found out at FormNext. Well, one, we found out we were going to FormNext about a week before FormNext. Myself and Waters from Ecovate 3D flew out to Frankfurt, Germany, and spent a week out there supporting Makesh and the automated auto eject project. So we were out there at their booth. I found out right before I left, I had submitted a lease proposal, and I found out on Thursday night over in Germany that they accepted my proposal. And yes, so I came back, we signed the deal. I got keys on December 1st. And we've been going pretty much nonstop. One of the first things I did was got internet installed here because I am still keeping my day job, and at least for the first year. So I've been coming in and physically working out of the store, both my day job as well as working to get stuff, on order, shipped in. We've been working on, we've redone the floors. I'll flip the camera around here, but we redid the floors. So the floors are now all epoxy coated in the retail space. We've painted the walls. We just rehung the doors over there. We took them down and restained them, resealed them, put them back up. We've been doing a lot of electrical work in here to get the electrical up to speed and ready to go. We've got a really screwed up camera now. There we go. We've got product in. We've got bamboo filament. We've got Epax 3D filament. We've got FlashForge printers. I'm still waiting for the FlashForge parts order to come in, as well as the Fadis parts order to come in. I do have tracking numbers for them. It's just waiting for it to come in. Hey, Aaron, how's it going? I wouldn't say I would eat off them. Every day we sweep these floors, and every day we get, more dust off of them. So the floors are 2 coats of epoxy. The first coat, we had some voids in it from some contamination in the concrete. So they fixed that and refloated another coat of epoxy. So we got 2 coats of epoxy. And then they came in and did a 1 or 2 mil thick polyurethane top coat, which is a 2-part polyurethane with a aluminum oxide aggregate that got added in, so it dropped the shine some. But the aluminum oxide aggregate almost gives it a non-slip quality, which does make sweeping, it's kind of like a textured build plate. There's some pits and valleys in there because of the aggregate. So we're constantly sweeping it, but that's what you do with the store, right? We've painted the walls and we've taken a bunch of stuff down. We've been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning like mad. Not sure how long the building sat empty before we moved in. But yeah, just doing a bunch of work. So, but thank you everybody for being here. It's great to see you, Britt. It's great to see you, Aaron and everybody, and Pezliz and K2 Kevin. It's just great seeing everybody, Philinux and stuff. It's just great seeing everybody again. I've missed streaming. We've just been down here working. I tried to stream, and the particular day I streamed, it was like 5 minutes in. I was sitting here talking for like 40 minutes before I realized the stream had died, right? And it was the router, or excuse me, not the router, the modem died, but it didn't fully die. Like, the modem was still active on Spectrum's side of things. It was the Ethernet connection between the modem and the router that was dead. So they had to come out and swap out the modem for a new modem. Got to get a mop bot good. I kid you not. We brought down one of our iRobot Roombas. This was our original one, so this was Ruby. And before we had any furniture sitting in here, we just had the floors done, and we set Ruby loose, and she had a blast running around the floor. And we came in the next day, and she was right in the middle of the store, dead as a doornail. Put her on a charger. That night, she charged all day. That night, we set her loose as we were heading out. And I kid you not, she beelined for the front door and tried to exit the building. And it was the funniest thing. Miss Dragon was just losing it. She was like, "You've got to be kidding me, girl. Get your butt back in there." But she did. She like beeline right for the front door and tried to go outside. I was like, that is hilarious. She was like, "Nope, done. Too much." But there was nothing in here. It was wide open. Now we've got a lot of obstacles in here for her to learn. Nah, I mean, we'll keep her into the retail space. We'll shut all the doors and keep her in the retail space. But honestly, we probably won't run her nightly. We'll probably just hand sweep it. But so far, that's what we do. It's like we make sure and police up all our tools at the end of the night, make sure that they're put in the same place. We sweep every night. It's just one of the things. Yeah, it helps me and Evil Diesel. We're both military. So it's like, yep, no, tools go back in the same spot. We make sure that we got all the tools at the end of the day. None of them grew legs and walked off. But yeah. The store's set up pretty well right now. We've gone as far as we can without having the furniture in place. I need to check on the returns that I submitted for the furniture. At least one of them, they've come back and said, "Hey, it's going to be way expensive to ship it back. Let's give you a partial refund." And Mrs. Dragon was like, "Yep, that's fine. We'll keep them. We'll put them in other areas of the building." But yeah, we're chomping at the bit. Mrs. Dragon has been printing stuff at the house nonstop. I should just bring her P1S down here and let her just rock and roll all day from the store. We've got several printers that I've started moving over already so that we can just start printing stuff here for the store. Because there's little things that we need. I did, the electrical boxes and the junction boxes that we have here are the metal boxes, surface mount metal boxes. And there's a couple of places where they had extra knockouts, or we changed the configuration so that we no longer needed one of the knockouts. And I printed, here we go. I printed knockout covers, right? So these are covers, whoops. These are little covers that we can pop into the metal box knockout so that you don't have, dust, debris, or heaven forbid we get a leak in the roof to keep stuff out of the boxes. You did send me a DM in Discord the other day. Did I see it? You probably need like 3 of them for all the space you have. Yeah, probably. You sent me something on Discord. Let me check real fast because I thought I had saw and responded to everything, but maybe not. I'll talk to Mrs. Dragon. I'll talk to Mrs. Dragon. You're going to go home now? Before you head out, Waters, how's the Optimus printing? I'm assuming you're printing on it right now? And have you, so the weird thing with the Optimus right now, and like I said, it's really weird, is the overhangs were printing nicely, but the tops, as the piece curves back to the top, was printing. And it's not just, thick layer line print issues. It's more like it was not cooling properly on the top side. So I think we're having to adjust cooling settings. And when it does the overhangs, when it's doing a vase that's starting to come up like this, it's kicking in the fans, but then when it comes back to the top, it's maybe not cooling as much or something. I don't know. We're chasing some of that. Could just be some speed issues as well. But yeah, folks, we've been going for about 2.5 hours, and I think I'm going to call it a night. It's almost 10 o'clock here right now. So let me see who is up that we could potentially raid into. And then we'll check out, see who's live that we can raid into. And we will, let's see, today's Tuesday. Yes, it is. It's Tuesday. So we should be able to stream Thursday night. No, I take it back. We won't be here Thursday night. We may be on a stream Thursday night, but it won't be here. It would be actually over at Ecovate because it's the Polymaker reveal stream. And I got to say hi to Joel's daughter, Ari, from Pezliz. Let's see who is up and running. People that I'm following. The Jang, Maker Deck, Buana, Science, Stephen Poole, Old Man Sim, Declarations, Astro Canuck. We have not streamed in a while, so we haven't gone over to people in a while. All right, looks like he's working on some astronomy chat and some Lego stuff. So we're gonna head over and start a raid over into Astro Canuck. And yeah, so it's been a fun night. We spun around and done kind of a tour of the retail space a little bit. I've done some videos out on Discord and the other socials. We'll do some more videos as we continue to get everything set out. And of course, when we do the soft opening and the grand opening launch, we'll walk people around. We'll give some nickel tours of the building and stuff if you're able to come out here. And so yeah, it's been great seeing everybody again. Liz, miss you too. It's been rough not seeing you all, my extended family. But I know that I will have some of you here in person for the grand opening. I know I have other people here in spirit for the grand opening. So thanks again. Like I said, we will be back here on, I was going to say Thursday again, Saturday for sure, maybe even beforehand. I will look at the 85X and see if I can get anything that needs to be printed beforehand. If not, then we will do the unboxing of the 85M Pro from FlashForge. So thank you, everybody. Have a great New Year's, and I will see you guys again soon, guys and gals. Bye now. And for those of you that are watching this later on YouTube, thank you very much for sticking around to